We're live. Well, I guess we're gonna wait
Hi,
for.
hi, Maisie.
Hi, hi, Crystal. We'll wait for 15 people before we begin. So now there's zero on the counter. For those of you who have just joined, you're joining in. Today is a very important topic. Actually, this month I'm going to talk a lot about the nutrition series. So give a like, a love, share this with people who you think will benefit from it, be it people who have diseases, who are ill, or just want to live a healthier way of life. So please share this. I think this is very important for them. I cannot stress how important it is. That's why I chose to do a nutrition series this month. So we officially have 20 people on stream. So I'm going to begin. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Talking Live with Macy. Thank you so much for joining us this weekend again. I know it's sort of the long weekend with this Wednesday being Hari Malaysia. And last weekend, I took a break. But for those of you who've missed out, we are going to have a full on nutrition series this month. We're going to talk a lot about what types of food to eat, what is good for your body, and even what does it mean by eating clean. So for me, I have to tell you that I cannot stress how important it is, how diet is so important in our lives. I had colorectal cancer, and after coming out of cancer surgeries and treatments and stuff, it took me more than one whole year to actually get my stomach back to normal because I actually removed so much of my colon and rectum. So I actually kept a food diary for one whole year. I wrote down everything I eat that would make me actually go to the toilet. Even up till today, there are times when there are things that I eat, it will cause me to have diarrhea. So I'm so careful with what I eat, and I personally believe that your health is what you eat because 80% of our health actually comes from the food we take that we put input into our bodies and only 20% from fitness. I think this is something that I need to stress because we live in Malaysia. There's so much good food. There's char kway teow, nasi lemak, your jat fan, all these types of food, even satay, I mean, who can resist it? But we need to know what a balanced diet is and what is good for our bodies. I mean, we can indulge sometimes, but there is a need to be aware of what is good and what is not so good for our bodies, right? Today we have Crystal Ng, the dietitian from the National Cancer Society of Malaysia. She has patients, basically mostly cancer patients and survivors. This is a free service offered by the National Cancer Society of Malaysia for all of you cancer patients and survivors out there. And she actually gives them advice on what to eat, what is good for their bodies after treatment, and things like that. So I'm very happy to have her here. Hi, Crystal.
Hi, Maisie. Nice to see
Yeah, it's really nice
you.
having you today. So I'm going to jump directly into the questions because I'm sure a lot of people have their own questions. So a lot of doctors, after surgeries, treatments, things like that, they always ask you to eat a balanced diet, and especially during treatment and surgeries. But what does it mean by a balanced diet? Could you share with us?
Yeah. Actually, a balance refers to a diet that consists of a good combination of food with a proper balance of nutrients, including carbohydrate, protein, vitamins, and minerals. When you eat a full range of vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients, you can maintain a healthy immune system. However, it's actually quite difficult for patients to eat a balanced diet during treatments as they experience a lot of side effects like loss of appetite, nausea, and vomiting. For the time being, protein food like fish, eggs, soy should be prioritized.
Okay, so
Yeah,
foods high in protein should be prioritized to actually reduce the
during
muscle loss,
treatments.
I'm
Yeah,
guessing. Okay, especially during
yeah,
treatment for the cancer
to
patients.
actually help us, yeah, to repair the cells and build the new cell.
Okay, so for those of you out there, if you have questions during our conversation, please ask away. I'll pick them up later for Crystal. So, can we still have a balanced diet if we are vegan, for example?
Yes, definitely. Being vegans do not stop us from eating a balanced diet, but it could be a challenge to meet the dairy protein requirements due to the avoidance of food. Still, we can get protein from plant-based food such as soy, legumes, like green beans, red beans, chips, and dry peas. Other than that, is instead of eating rice, we can also choose to eat quinoa as it contains high protein, and we can eat vegetables that contains higher proteins like spinach.
Mm,
Yeah.
I see. Okay, so this is good for the vegans to note. I realized that, Crystal, that you keep mentioning about a diet higher in protein. Why is that so?
Like during treatments, we need high proteins because we need proteins to help us to repair the injured cells and also build the new cells. As we know, chemotherapies or like after surgeries, actually our cells get damaged and we have wound. That's why we need to speed up the recovery process. This is the reason why protein is very important during treatments. But like after treatments, actually we all of us advise to get a balanced diet where all
Okay,
the food groups
so
is there.
what are the ingredients needed to make up a balanced diet?
I think everyone knows about Malaysian's healthy plate. By right, we need to follow the Malaysian healthy plate, the quarter half concepts, which means that your meal plate should incorporate half grains or tubers. Quarter grains or tubers, quarter fish, poultry, lean meat or legumes, and also half fruits and vegetables. Yep. This is considered
Okay,
a
so
balanced diet. Mm.
so a balanced diet is half a plate of fruits and vegetables, half a plate of
Yeah.
tubers, which I'm guessing that can be carbs as well.
Quarter.
Oh,
Yeah.
quarter
Quarter
plate
of your
of
plate.
tubers.
Quarter.
Okay, and the
Grains or
other
tubers
quarter
like
is for
lentils.
okay, and the
Yeah,
other quarter is
is from
protein. All
protein.
right.
Mhm.
So for what about for those people who don't even say they don't even eat vegetables? How?
If they don't eat vegetables, maybe because we have a variety of vegetables. We have broccoli, we have like fruits vegetables like carrots, tomatoes, and also we have dark green leafy vegetables. So I think like because we have a variety of vegetables, right? There must be some type of vegetables that you can accept. So yeah. So definitely we need to encourage and keep on trying to educate people to eat vegetables.
Okay,
Yeah.
I agree.
If the
So
person
if let's
didn't
say,
really,
sorry,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. If let's,
do continue. If the person,
yeah, if the person really don't like to eat vegetables, maybe we need to get like the fiber powder supplements or fiber powder. Yeah.
okay. So if let's say during lunch you eat a lot of carbs but not enough protein and fiber, can you replace it during dinner time?
Yes, of course we can, because if you're not able to sufficient protein or fiber during lunchtime, you can increase the portions during dinner. The reason the reason behind is because the recommended nutrients is always based on a daily basis. Let's say if you cannot get fruits at your working place, you can actually eat 2 servings of fruits, for example, 2 slices of papaya after you get back home.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
that's good information. And when it comes to cancer survivors, are there certain foods that we should avoid? Although most doctors say that you don't have to avoid any food, but are there certain types of foods that we should avoid?
I can say that cancer survivors are generally to practice healthy eating after completing all the treatments, just like other normal peoples. We should avoid processed meat, for example, sausage, burger patty, and also bacon. And the second things we need to do is actually to reduce the intake of red meat to not more portions per week. One portion is like a one palm size of, yeah, one palm size of your hand. And the third one is actually to reduce intake of the intake of food that high in animal fat, trans fat, added sugar and salt. And lastly, to limit the alcohol into 1 to 2 drinks per day. Mm. Actually, most importantly, always remember to use Malaysian healthy plate as your guideline for balanced meal.
Okay, use Malaysian healthy plate as the guideline. So I'm gonna just ask a few
Mm-mm.
questions. Like American Chin asked, how about oats and grains? That is a part of the healthy plate, right? That's in the tuber section, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Oats and grain is actually classified as a carbohydrate food. So oats and grains actually provide us energy with this. Yeah, we can actually eat this. Is one of our main food, our staple food, our staple food every day. So instead of actually like oats and whole grains, right, provide us more fiber, higher fiber as compared to rice and noodles and also like other tubers. So I would advise people to go for oats.
Hmm? Okay. And what are certain foods that are considered nutritious and a must eat to maintain our health in general for everyone?
Mm. In fact, there is no single food that can provide us all the nutrients to maintain an overall good health. Eat food from each five food groups every day. So, according to Malaysians food pyramid, actually we have five food groups that we need to include it every day. The first food is rice, noodles, bread, and cereals. All this food contains carbohydrates. It provides us energy to carry out daily activities like or doing work or working. The second food groups is actually fruits and vegetables. We need vitamins and minerals to perform many functions in the body, such as making red blood cells, supporting healthy visions, nervous system, and also immune system. The third food group is actually fish, poultry, meats, legumes. This food actually contains proteins that help us to build new cells and also repair the injured cells. And the fourth food groups, milk and milk products. Dairy provide us calcium, vitamin D that help us to maintain a good or healthy bone health. Lastly, we need to include some healthy oils because we actually need a little amount of healthy oil to help us absorb certain vitamins better, such as vitamin A, D, E, and K.
I see. Okay, I didn't know
Yeah.
about the healthy oils, but I'll definitely include that into my diet and be aware of it. So, what is your
Yeah.
advice to everyone who cooks to make sure they maintain a balanced diet?
I would like to provide 5 tips to prepare a balanced diet. Firstly, one is to make half of your meal plate fruit and vegetables. When you prepare your meal, make sure that you have fruits and vegetables and should fill up your half of your plate with these fruits and vegetables. Second, try to include whole grains such as brown rice, wholemeal bread, or oats. Instead of taking white rice, go for instead of taking white rice, right, you can actually choose to get brown rice. Instead of getting white bread, you can go for wholemeal bread. Like other than that, you can always use oats. You can also prepare oats porridge for your breakfast. Yeah. And thirdly, you can actually choose lean protein such as fish, chicken, or soy products like tofu or fuchok or like tau kwa as the protein source. And actually, the most important thing is to avoid extra fat. So we need to limit the intake of heavy gravies or sauces. Try to limit like mayonnaise or other, yeah, like mayonnaise as a dressing, and also choose low fat cooking methods like steaming, boiling, stir frying. And when you prepare your food, especially when you prepare chickens or any meat, try to remove the skin and also the fatty part of the meat. Yeah. And
Okay.
lastly, try to control the portions of the food. Eat not more than one fist of rice, eat a palm size of fish or chicken, and eat two handfuls of fruits and vegetables, as well as to limit the oil intake to like 1 teaspoon every time. Yeah.
Okay, that's really, really good advice. I'm going to take a lot of people have questions. So I'm going to start with Tang Man Hoi's question. He asked whether protein shakes can be used to replace proteins.
Okay. So as we know, protein play an important role in our health, right? Because it helps us to build our muscle, to build new cells, repair the injured cells. So of course, we will always ask, or we always encourage people to go for diet first. If let's say you are not able to achieve the daily requirements, the daily protein requirements from your diet, you can go for protein powder. Yeah.
Okay, so that would not be
Because
the
we don't want
number
to put
one
people.
go.
Yes.
Okay. Um, and then Tan G8 asks if half a plate of vegetables and fruits, then most common food in Malaysia, like chicken rice, they are not considered good food, right? Because they don't consist of half a plate of vegetables and fruits.
Yeah. Actually, there's an option for us. Like for example, I agree with her because when we go to restaurant, we order chicken rice. There's very little amount of vegetables. They just give like two or three pieces of cucumber. So at this time, actually, I will always request for another plate of like tauke. You can actually,
Mm.
you can request. I think this is up to you. Yeah, you can actually request for it. You can actually like add on another dishes.
So her advice is to add on a dish,
Yeah.
tan, that will be then to actually have a more balanced diet. San San asks, is it advisable for cancer patients or survivors to completely avoid meats of all kinds? And should healthy people also avoid meat?
We When we talk about meat, right, we need to be more specific. For processed meat, we memang need to avoid totally, but for red meat, we can reduce the portion. We still can enjoy red meat like pork or like beef or lamb, but we need to limit because according to World Cancer Research Fund, the recommended portions is actually not more than three palm size a week. Mm. The reason why we want to limit the portions of the red meat is because there's studies showing that there's significant associations between red meat, high consumption of red meat, and colorectal cancer. Yeah, this will limit the portion size of red meat, but for processed meat, totally we are advised to avoid completely.
Okay. So to completely avoid processed meat, but to actually take only three palm size a week for red meats, right? That would be
Yeah,
an option. Okay. So
yeah.
Tan asked, in terms of Malaysian healthy plate, you mean different countries have different plates, or this is a general like healthy plate for the world?
Actually, for this healthy plate is so called. I can say that it's international. We are using in every way. Yeah, every country actually follow this healthy plate method. But for Malaysians, definitely we have a customized one. This is the customized healthy plate for Malaysians. Yeah, because our staple food is rice. Hmm.
I
So it's
see.
actually
Okay.
there's slightly difference, but yeah, but in general is the same. Yeah.
So Yogimbi asks, there are many people who do not eat rice or cut down on carbs a lot. Is that healthy?
Still, for people who have obesity or overweight problems, I would advise them to cut down the portions of carbohydrates because when we eat too much, we cannot feel the satiety. It cannot provide us the satiety. So, like for for in general, we still get sufficient carbohydrates like rice, noodles, because as we mentioned just now, actually carbohydrates provide us energy. Without certain carbohydrate, right, actually we don't have the energy to perform our daily activities.
Okay. And Sansan says that she consumes yogurt, cultured yogurt every day. That is good for intestines, right? She asked.
Yes, yes, because yogurt actually has proteins, so like you can actually take it every day. There's no problem. It's a source of protein
And
as well.
Tang Manhoi asks, healthy oils are generally such as olive, virgin coconut oil. Are these healthy oils?
Yes, like olive oil or like sunflower oil, and also canola oil, corn oil. All these are actually considered healthy oil because it has unsaturated fatty acid. It's good for our heart health. Yeah,
Okay.
but
And
to
Elaine,
be just another information. Yeah,
yeah,
just
go
another
ahead.
information is that we are not advisable. Yeah, we are not advisable to use coconut oil or like virgin coconut oil to in cooking. It's not suitable for cooking. Mm.
Okay. Elaine asks, can we replace brown rice with basmati rice?
Sorry, with what?
Basmati rice, you know, the Indian basmati rice?
Okay, yeah. So actually, basmati you can actually if you don't, because when we take brown rice, right, it doesn't taste good. You can consider basmati rice. There's no problem there's no a big issue lah.
Okay, and is brown and black rice lower in sugar compared to white rice?
There's no, in terms of carbohydrate contents or sugar contents, there's no difference between brown rice and white rice. The difference is actually the fiber content. The fiber content of brown rice is actually much higher as compared to white rice.
I see. So, Da Bendan asks, is taking oat every day, does that contribute to the increase in uric acid in our bodies for oats and uric acid?
There's no, according to study, there's no significant association between oats and high uric. So actually the primary cause of high uric acid is the high intake of red red meat or fatty meat or actually.
I see. Okay, and Chang Yanli asks, she does homemade luncheon meat from following online recipes. She mainly uses minced meat with some spices and chicken stock, and it's steam cooked. Is that considered processed as well?
If you do it yourself, normally it's not considered processed meat because you can because the minced meat you get is actually so it's actually not considered processed meat. Yeah. And you are using all the fresh ingredients. So it's not like in commercially produced products. They add a lot of salt and a lot of like chemical ingredients to preserve the meat. Yeah.
I see. And studies on the benefit of multivitamin and supplements is mixed. They found that there is no difference on cardiovascular health. So Tan asked, what is your opinion on that? On multivitamins and
In terms of
supplements?
multivitamin,
Yeah.
yeah. So actually only needs, I cannot say that multivitamins and supplements do not give us any benefits. So like if still we go for diet, person doesn't get enough nutrients from diets, then we will advise the persons to actually get multivitamins and minerals. Definitely there's no study saying that by taking multivitamins and minerals, it can help us to prevent CVD disease. There's no such thing. Yeah, our main target is actually to achieve the daily nutrients requirements. So by having a proper meals, actually we can already achieve daily requirements. In after if we able to get all the nutrients from our diet, we are able to maintain a general or an overall good health. If the person cannot meet if the person cannot achieve the daily requirements from diet, then we will advise multivitamins and minerals. But we cannot claim that taking multivitamins and minerals can help us to prevent any diseases.
I see. So for Tan, I think multivites and minerals are basically like a supplement. If you cannot eat that amount in your diet, then you have to supplement it with multivitamins and minerals, correct, Crystal?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
And also
I'll take,
according to, yeah, yeah, also
yeah,
to
go
World
ahead.
Cancer Research Fund, right? We are not advisable to take supplements to prevent cancer as well. Yeah. Claimed we cannot use supplements to prevent any diseases or illness.
Okay. I'll take one or two last questions. Patrick Ling asks, can taking a mixture of nuts like cashew, almond, macadamia nuts regularly help to prevent colon cancer?
Again, according to studies, we actually do not find any association between nuts and also cancer patients. But there's a but by taking all these nuts, right, actually we can get good fats. We can get monounsaturated fats, so which is good for our health. Still we need to control the portion size because it contains calories. If we overeat it, actually it can lead to weight gain. Yeah.
Interesting. I'll take one last question from Tang Man Hoi. Is low GI carbs better than high GI carbs like brown rice, sweet potato, compared with rice and potatoes?
Yeah, definitely yes. If you are taking low GI carbs, it can help us to maintain or stabilize our blood sugar. It's very good for diabetic patients because for diabetic patients, we need to have a very stable blood sugar control, very good blood sugar control. That's why normally for diabetic patients, we will advise them to go for low glycemic index foods like brown rice. In general, food that contains high fiber are having low glycemic index. So this is the food that we normally recommend for the diabetic patients. And other than that, low glycemic food is also highly recommended for those who want to lose weight or for those obese or overweight patients. Yeah, because if our blood sugar is under control, if our blood sugar's level is stable, right, then we don't feel hungry that fast. Yeah, so it can help us to control our hunger and also the portion size of the food.
All right, very interesting. I guess there's so many questions for you, but now probably going to end this session because I think we have answered a lot of questions from the audience. And thanks, James, for thanking the National Cancer Society of Malaysia. They do great work. For those of you cancer patients and survivors out there, you have more questions, especially about your diet, please contact the National Cancer Society of Malaysia hotline. They actually provide advice, diet and nutrition tips and advice as well. Crystal is one of the dietitians on board, and you can actually go and meet her in the National Cancer Society of Malaysia. So, like I said, this month is my nutrition month. We talk a lot about nutrition. Today was a very insightful topic where we talk about what a well balanced diet is, and for a lot of all of us, normal people or even cancer patients and survivors, this is very helpful. I hope you guys can share this with someone who needs it. And thank you so much, Crystal, for actually being so patient and answering all of our questions.
You're welcome. Nice talking, nice sharing to people also. Yeah,
I'm glad that you are
yeah,
there
because
to help all of us.
yeah. So feel
Um,
free to contact us if you have any questions.
yeah, so Lam Lam, you can just contact the National Cancer Society of Malaysia, and they might actually put you through to the right Yeah, so I think now we are back. I think there was a glimpse. So we are going to actually end today's session. Join me next week. We're going to talk about what healthy eating is and eating clean. So for those of you who are very interested in this topic, join me next week and we'll be giving a voucher from FinKL. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Crystal. Bye.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye,
Bye.
everyone.